Hello everybody, this is Jacob Toronto here from ChasingCinema.com. Today going to be talking about Daredevil, the Netflix and Marvel series, episode 4 from season 1, which is entitled In the Blood. And last episode we were able to talk about the reveal of Wilson Fisk, and we were able to talk about the grittiness and darkness that comes with the show. Case in point, the fact that there at one point is a man who smashes another man's face with a bowling ball. And that doesn't stop in this episode. The entitled In the Blood is definitely a very, very appropriate title for this episode, but I will get into that in a minute. I talked about, that's another thing I'll kind of wait. So, this episode again starts the very gritty and dark and like, oh my god, this is Marvel scene. There's two characters, dubbed the Russians, who are in this prison-like detail, and they're talking about escaping, and they say, you know, we don't have no weapons. And there's a third body in the room that looks like they're sleeping or dead. And one of the twins goes and pulls him over to reveal that he has kind of ripped open the man's side and ripped out a rib and shaved it down to a knife or a blade. And then he does it again for his brother. We literally hear the rib cracking and him removing it from the man's sternum. Well, chest area, I don't know. Sternum, it's... Ooh! What? I don't even remember a movie that's really... I mean, I'm sure that's been there somewhere, but as of this moment, I can't even think of a movie that's done that and showed me someone going into someone's chest and cracking a rib and then pulling it out. I mean, oh my god, this is Marvel again, showing us, Drew Goddard really making a point to show us the darkness of where these comics have gone and comics in general. I absolutely love this show. I am more and more enthralled each time I see it. I'm more and more excited by seeing that Marvel is exploring different areas, exploring different tones, and maybe not for your average youngster, you know, 8, 9, 10 who loves Marvels and superheroes. But then again, you know, I think that it's necessary for Marvel to explore characters like this and explore darker worlds like this, because this is part of the comic book universe. And for people who love comic books, people who've read comic books since the younger age and went to the teen phase, they're reading the darker and grittier stuff and more profanity and more gore and even in some cases, you know, sexual references and things like that. I mean, this is a part of a universe that they are trying to adapt for the big screen, hands down. DC has explored that already with the Dark Knight franchise, you know, but I don't even know if I could say that the gore to the extent of what's going on here is happening. I mean, getting kind of dizzy. I mean. And then, okay, so then to kind of jump up to another point, I mean, really great episode. Everything has been so good so far. But there's a really awesome episode where, unfortunately, in this episode kind of revolves around Karen Page doing some exploring and getting involved. But during all of this, Claire Temple, I believe her last name is Claire, played by Rosario Dawson, is kidnapped. The Russians are looking for this man after they are told multiple times that Wilson Fisk wants this man eliminated because the Russians' product is in short supply, or supplies are short. So there's this need to eliminate the man and the Black Mask. And after going to the hospital and finding the man that Daredevil threw in the dumpster in episode 2, telling them he remembers Rosario Dawson's character, we have her kidnapped in this garage, a trap set for the Man in Black and the Man in the Black Mask. And like an 80s horror film, like a classic monster movie, you know, we have Daredevil himself arrive on the scene, not in full costume, so, I mean, I'm just calling him Daredevil, picking off characters like a horror film. One's looking this way and gets dragged out of the scene. We never see Matt. One's looking this way, gets pulled out of this scene. I mean, it's just like an old horror movie. And one of the best parts about it is they're all asking Rosario Dawson, where is he? You know, and all this stuff. And who is he? What do you know? And then immediately the lights go black before he attacks. And she starts laughing. You want to know who he is? Ask him yourself. Oh! Just a really great moment. I mean, this series is so much fun and exploring the much darker... Oh, I'm not even at the dark part yet. Are you ready for this? So in the last episode, I talked about how Wilson Fisk is already being developed well. We know that he is this dramatic kingpin. He was revealed in 3 episodes. You know, we had to wait to see him. We know who this man is, the ultimate, you know, the boss of bosses. And we see him as this lonely man who's sad and kind of upset. And in this episode, he actually goes on a date, and we can see that he's not confident, that he really wants to be with somebody. He's trying so hard to impress this lady. And after one of the Russians escapes the attack of Matt Murdock, he goes and says, all right, we need your help, we need your help. We'll accept you taking over our project. Flash forward, Kingpin is so mad that this man interrupted to make him look like a fool in front of this date. He beats the living hell out of this Russian. We are exposed to what Wilson Fisk really is. We're exposed to see what Kingpin is capable of. I mean, just throwing and landing these devastating punches, these haymakers that is knocking this guy out. And then, Wilson Fisk himself puts this Russian man's head on the passenger door, right where you usually put your feet, right at the bottom, and then begins slamming this door shut on this man's face. Alright, but he doesn't stop. We start seeing blood and blood rush from the bottom of the car, the great angle, where we're looking at the bottom of the car. We could just see his body, but we're seeing blood fall. And then we start seeing chunks fall. And he continues to do it as the scene is just carrying on. His associate, you know, wiping blood off his face, just like this is normal. He eventually, Kingpin just keeps doing it to the point where we see a body fall without a head. He decapitates a man in this episode. What? And I'm not saying what to be mean. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is so crazy. And this is Marvel. I just feel so great that this is Marvel exploring this. Again, I've said it enough. They're exploring this great, gritty, dark, and very violent comic, and they're showing it. And they're not holding back, and I love it, and I respect them for it. Easily one of the best things Marvel has produced. I love it. I'm in. Let me know what you think about episode 4 in the blood down here in the comment section. Make sure to follow me and Chasing Cinema in our description box for all of our social media websites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all that fun stuff. You can pin, tweet, post, like, all that fun stuff, just like that Walmart commercial. Make sure to show your support by liking and favoriting this video. And of course, make sure to hit subscribe, because each day I'm constantly updating this with movie news, casting details, podcasts, and movie reviews, articles and essays, all that fun stuff. I'm constantly going on updating this YouTube channel. Yesterday I talked about Harley Quinn being revealed as, or Margot Robbie being revealed as Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad Task Force X photo. David Ayer tweeted out. All that fun stuff, all available on our YouTube page. YouTube, subscribe. Thank you so much for paying attention. Thanks so much for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jake Toronto. Please continue chasing cinema.